How's it going, guys? Cameron here, it's Canadian Gamer, coming at you with another video. This is my third time trying to shoot this video. Three times. This is the last time, so if I fuck this up, it is what it is. You know, sometimes you get a little bit of diarrhea of the mouth and you just start rambling on. I want this to be a short video. So today we're talking about controller collecting. This has become a pretty big trend lately in the video game industry. Now, with regards to color variations, this is nothing new. It's been around for decades. I think it started out with the original Game Boy, and then the N64, the Dreamcast, and then obviously the PS2 and the original Xbox as well. I think for a lot of us, the collecting of controllers really took off with the 360. 360 had a lot of different color combinations for the controllers. Now, I don't collect 360 controllers for a number of reasons. I find when I go out looking for them, they hold their value pretty well. They're pretty expensive to obtain right now. They're becoming harder to find, at least in good shape. I picked up this one recently, a couple of months ago at the thrift store, and it's in really good shape. It's a black Xbox 360 controller. Thumbsticks are immaculate. Now, I find with the color variations for the 360 controllers, what really kind of chaps my ass about it is, like, let's say you get a 360 controller and it's like a red. A lot of times the thumbsticks would still be black, and to me it just kind of looks off. I find with color variations, at least with controllers, I like to have the thumbstick match the paint on the controller. That's just me. That's personal preference. So again, I never really got into collecting for the 360 controllers. I know Kinzilla there, part of the MJR crew, she likes to collect her 360 controllers. So maybe that's why they're hard to find in the wild now. But for me, what sort of spurred today's video, there's a gentleman by the name of Carl, follows me on my channel here. And you might see him from time to time, leaving comments in the comment thread. And he tagged me on a tweet. So he acquired the new, and I didn't even know about this until he tagged me in it, the new Xbox One Aqua Shift controller. You can see here. So this controller looks absolutely incredible. It's got a nice, kind of like a chameleonized paint on it, and depending on how the light hits the controller, it shifts the color of the Aqua on the controller. So this controller looks absolutely incredible. From what I'm seeing, this controller comes out on Tuesday, September the 14th. However, there's a lot of YouTubers that already have this controller in their possession, so maybe I'm wrong. Nonetheless, as far as collecting for controllers, the Xbox One console is no exception. I think this is where Microsoft really shines compared to the PS4 and the PS5. Microsoft has had so many color combinations and variations and releases for their controllers. It's really taken off. And not only that, through Microsoft's own website, you can go on there, last time I checked, and you can actually create your own stylized controller and order it just the way you'd like it, the colors you want, and you can get a customized controller as well. So that's really cool. So today, I just wanted to show you guys a couple of controllers I have in my collection. And you can also go to consolevariations.com and you can look at all the different controllers that are available for the Xbox One. And they even have it broken down based on the controllers that came out before the 1S and 1X models had come out. Just the Xbox One, the fat model, VCR model. Then it breaks it down, Xbox One S controllers that came out and Xbox One X as well. So it's really cool. So what we'll do, I'll show you the first controller. When I bought my original Xbox One, I've told this story before, but the controller that came with it, it had a bit of a creak to it when I held it. The plastic was creaking. So I was like, what the fuck is this? So I sold the controller. I sold it for like $40. And then I went out, I bought this. One of the few times I actually bought something at full retail at EB Games, GameStop in Canada. And that's the Elite controller. So, you know, it is a variation. This is probably actually the most common Xbox One controller that I have in my collection. I'll show you the other ones in a minute. But yeah, this is my go-to controller. This is the one that I primarily use. Fantastic controller. Also comes in white and it may have come in a couple other combinations as well. And the controller has recently been revised. There's an Elite 2 controller, and I think there's even an Elite 3 controller coming out as well. So one of the more expensive controllers, absolutely. Time will tell if it becomes collectible years from now. We'll see. Now, after I bought my Xbox One, I eventually sold it and I upgraded to the deep blue model Xbox One S. So this is actually one of the more uncommon controllers for the Xbox One. So this is the deep blue controller that came with the deep blue console. So the reason why this is uncommon is because this is one of the few instances where this controller was not sold separately. If you wanted to have this controller with the colored thumbsticks, you had to buy the deep blue console. Or alternatively, there was also like a deep gray console that came out, and there was also like a deep green console that came out as well. There's 3 of them. So a very uncommon controller. And not only that, the backside is completely painted as well. You don't see that all the time. So the next controller I bought, I saw this when it came out on store shelves. I saw it at Walmart. I was hemming and hawing about it. And then I walked into a pawn shop one day and I lucked out and they had it there and I picked it up for like 30, maybe $30. And that's the Ocean Shadow controller, as you can see here. Probably the nicest controller I have. As you can see, it's got like a nice, goes from like a black to like almost like a chromatic blue color to it. Real nice controller. And so the Shadow series, there was a few different variations. There was a volcano. There was also like a purple. There was a red. There was a different type of blue. Some of them it went from like this color would be up here, and then it would go to black, and vice versa, as you see here. So yeah, the Shadow series, probably one of the best series you could get for collecting controllers for the Xbox One. The only unfortunate thing about it, like a lot of Xbox controllers, if you're going to put this controller down on your coffee table, you best put it down on a cloth or a piece of material, because otherwise the paint kind of over time it chips. I don't know if you can see that there in the camera, but yeah, the back's not painted, at least here, but otherwise it's a fantastic looking controller. I love it. And these have really shot up in price as well. If you wanted one of these, if you went on to eBay, it's going to cost you probably over $100 right now. And then lastly, when I picked up my Xbox One X last year, as a lot of you guys know, I ended up getting the Hyperspace console, as it's known in Canada. Over in the US, I think it was bundled with NBA 2K, if I'm not mistaken. And it came with a custom controller as well. So as you can see here, it's got, unfortunately, it doesn't have colored thumbsticks, but it does have the splattered paint on the D-pad. I don't know if you can see it here. So it's relatively uncommon. Again, it's not painted on the back, unfortunately, but otherwise it's a very rare controller. The buttons have they're purple as well, purple lettering. So yeah, you had to get the Hyperspace console to get this controller variation as well. Pretty cool to have. And yeah, like I said, the thumbsticks not colored on this controller either, but they were on this one here. There was also a Fortnite, like a purple Fortnite Xbox One S console you could get at Walmart, and it came with a controller like this, but it was purple. So there's so many different controller variations for the Xbox One. It's pretty insane, to be honest with you. And I don't want to get into collecting controllers, but with the Xbox One, at least with this Aqua Shift controller, I might have to pull the trigger and get it. It looks absolutely incredible. So like I said, I don't want to get too crazy with the controllers, but if I see something that really piques my interest with the Xbox One, by all means, I'll probably end up picking it up. And like I said, the Shadow series is probably my favorite of the series that you could get. I absolutely love it. I'd like to get the Volcano one as well if I ever see it in the wild. So yeah, so there you have it. A lot of people are kind of getting into collecting controllers. It's becoming one in its own. It's right up there with collecting video games. So let me know in the comments below. Any of you guys out there getting the Aqua Shift controller? Any of you guys collect controller variations? Or do you have any different controllers other than what I showed here for the Xbox One? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.